Plaintiff Paul Altvader met the defendant in college, and he always thought he was a ladies' man. Paul says after they graduated, the two of them started living together. But today, he's suing for unpaid rent, property damage, and an electric bill. Defendant Brian Hunter says despite the fact that he has nothing bad to say about Paul, he does claim that he's never met more of a metrosexual man in his life. Brian claims Paul takes longer to get ready than most girls, and Brian feels their leasing company should be suing him for the rent, not Paul.
Prove your case.
First off, I wanted to say good morning, Judge.
Good morning.
It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm a fan of the show. I catch it as often as I can.
Thank you.
And I do know that you tend to keep things real, and you like to come down on somebody when they need a little life lesson taught to them a little bit. This is kind of a perfect
and
scenario.
When they appear to be disrespectful.
That's true.
To the court.
Yeah. And this guy's a prime example of the situation. He was kind of that kid that never wanted to grow up. He had his player card for a while, and it's time for it to be revoked.
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 26.
Hey, you still got a few years.
Yeah, exactly.
That could be the case, but I mean, Brian and I, we were in college. We went to Central Michigan University. I know you were from Michigan yourself there.
I went to Eastern Michigan. There's a difference.
Yeah, well, we
win.
Not nowadays.
No way. Central win.
Yeah, that's right. We had one of the top quarterbacks in college.
Yeah.
All right.
He's playing for the Bears now here in Chicago.
Oh, here in Chicago?
Yeah,
Maybe they'll win now.
But we knew each other in college. We both were kind of on the extended program at Central Michigan. We were there longer than the typical 4 years, so kind of.
How long?
6 years for myself.
How's there 5?
So our paths kind of crossed a lot in the party scene, and we became friends.
Never saw each other going to class, just going to parties.
Maybe passing through campus.
Yeah, maybe.
You tell me about your background.
Actually, first off, nothing bad to say about Paul. Definitely a great guy. Definitely always been a good friend.
You all were party buddies in college for the most part?
Mm-hmm. But this guy, never met more of a metrosexual man than Paul. Always took him about 3 or 4 hours to get ready before we go out. He took longer to get ready than all my girlfriends that I've had. And I've had plenty of them throughout the day. And correct me if I'm wrong, but all I know is that Prince is the only straight guy I know that wears eyeliner before they go out every night.
Prince.
Purple rain and all, and I'm wearing purple today too.
He alleges you have a reputation, or indeed you are a playboy of some sort.
I mean, I've had my bad days, but I mean, I went to college. There was a lot of girls there. I was single.
And they all wanted you?
Central had a 5-to-1 girl-to-guy ratio.
Yeah, it was a huge girl-to-guy ratio. So, I mean, I had my fun. I went out. I mean, I've had my bad days. and I know a lot of my friends have done the same thing as well.
Let me get back to him. You be stuttering, repeating yourself, all types of stuff. Go ahead, sir.
After college, I got a job with the leasing company as a leasing manager and marketing director type situation. They moved me from the Detroit area to Chicago here in March of 2008. I was here by myself. I didn't know too many people in town, and so I kind of contacted a few of my friends on Facebook that I thought might want to take advantage of moving to Chicago to kind of help share rent with, to save some bills. I mean, I'm just starting out of college, and I wanted to make things as financially efficient as possible. Ended up getting a hold of Brian, and he wanted to jump on the situation, move down here. I arranged for an apartment for the two of us, got him a job with my company so that he came down here. He already had employment. Everything was great for the first year. We lived out in Hoffman Estates, so we weren't getting the full Chicago experience. We were kind of out in the suburbs. But then in January of 2009, I got transferred into one of the high-rise properties for my company, on the north side of Chicago, up by Rogers Park.
You're doing big things.
I mean, moving up a little bit, trying to.
Now let's get to what happened.
At the new residence, we stayed there from January of 2009 through we moved out in December.
Why did you move out?
We moved out because in August of that month, I was actually laid off from my job.
So you moved out because you couldn't afford it?
Correct.
Even though you were doing big things?
I mean, I was doing well. I was the number 8 salesman in the company. And then we had some specific
You didn't save your money? Because you had lived large early and didn't save your money. All right. That's what a lot of people who are trying to be Ghetto Fabulous do. You were living a ghetto life?
No, but I was spending more money than I should have.
Where'd you move to?
I moved back home with my parents.
Oh, then they end up back at home. How does he owe you for any of the rent, sir?
For the months of October and November, I paid my portions of the rent with my unemployment check that I was receiving. And I was completely unaware that he wasn't paying his half of the rent.
And did they sue you for it?
Because of the situation, and we moved out in December, they didn't actually take us to court. What they did is they sent our outstanding balance at the time that we moved out to a collection company.
Okay.
Since I've moved home, I have kind of stopped living the Ghetto Fabulous life, as you put it.
Right.
I've been cleaned up my act. I've been trying to clean up my credit report. I've signed up for the Navy, and I'm actually shipping off in December to go to the nuclear power school.
Excellent.
And part of the reason that I'm here right now is because I need to get this off of my credit report
So
in
it
order to
doesn't
get the
follow you.
security clearance.
Do you
that I
have
need.
the notification of the amount owed?
Yes, I do.
Sir, what do you want to tell me?
Paul was suing me as his roommate when I felt that if anyone was supposed to be suing me for unpaying rent, it would be the apartment property that we lived at itself. Because say, Paul sues me for it, I give Paul the money for the rent. He can go to the bar and spend it all as opposed to...
How had you typically given it to him?
Actually, we both paid our rent to the leasing office itself.
Okay, so in this instance, the months in question, did you pay them directly?
No, did not pay the...
Okay, so you didn't do what you used to do.
Correct. But there was reasoning for why not paying rent.
Why?
Because when Paul had eventually got laid off in August, obviously things started to change in terms of our social life, bills, things like that. I started to help out a little.
Fabulous life in
Our Ghetto Fabulous life.
Right, go ahead.
So I, of course, if we ever decided to go out, if he needed help a little bit more to go out with partying, obviously, we're paying cash, so I would help out with that. Food, we obviously had to survive with food for those months as well.
Rent. What's your defense to not paying your share of the rent?
Because I didn't have the money to pay for the share of the rent because I was helping out with other bills. Like I felt that I owed probably about $560.
Because you bought other things.
Correct, exactly. But the $2,000 that he was suing me for the unpaid rent.
Did you tell the landlord that you had bought other things so you don't think you should have to pay those months in rent?
I mean, what are they going to do though? So
they're going to keep charging.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
And they're going to send you this.
Exactly.
I got a letter from the property manager as well that shows that, or says that he discussed with Brian several times about his portion of the rent that
Let's
he didn't
see it.
pay.
And did he say Brian told me he was taking care of other things?
No, he didn't say that at all.
You tell the landlord that?
No.
All right. And the property damage you're suing for?
When we went to move out, there was a couple stains in the carpeting in the living room and in Brian's bedroom. It was a brand new apartment when we moved in, so the property company decided to replace all of it. We had discussed on the phone that we would split the damage of the carpet 50-50 down the middle. So the total value of the carpeting was $989.53. And then we had an additional electric bill. That was the electric bill for October, November, and the prorated portion of December that we were there. That was, we were to split 50-50 down the middle as well.
I didn't think I owed for 50-50 of what the carpet damage
Why?
was.
Because you bought some more knickknacks or whatever?
No, I just didn't cause the majority of the damages that were in the carpet.
I know he's only suing you for half of them, sir.
Okay.
And I'm going to grant his judgment because your only defense to not paying rent is that you bought candy instead or something.
It wasn't just
So
candy.
you paid for what?
It wasn't just candy. We also had other bills, like say groceries. We go out.
That's what I say.
Utility
You bought
bills.
groceries. All right. Don't you like candy?
Yeah, I like
Part
that.
of it was candy. All right. Judgment for the plaintiff. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I'm just glad that everything turned out the way that it is, that I got the money that I need to pay this off so I can go into the Navy and get things taken care of the way that I want to. And I'd just like to see Brian make the same grown-up type of decisions in his life.
We have been good friends for a long time, so for a few months it kind of put a dent in our friendship. So just the fact that the situation is resolved, I'm assuming we can go back to be good friends. And obviously it's definitely a learning experience for the both of us.